Hi everybody, and welcome to part 2 of my circle skirt tutorial. So today we are going to make this midi length circle skirt. So let's get started. So first you're going to take your waistband. You need to fuse it first. It's going to make it stronger and give it more body. Then you're going to fold it in half lengthwise and give it a good iron. Then you can overlock or zigzag one of the long edge of your waistband. That's going to help with the finish later on and stop your fabric from fraying. So next I'm going to lay my front piece on the table, and I'm going to connect my side seams together, right sides together. Since I have a zipper in the back, I have two back pieces. If you only want side seams, you will have two half circles to connect together at the side seams, and for that you will need to leave an opening for your zipper. So next we are going to get the back seam ready for the zipper, and all you have to do is iron the seam allowance on each piece a centimeter in towards the back of your fabric. The fold that you're going to create is going to be a guide for your zipper. It's going to be a lot easier to sew it with this guide. That way you don't have to worry about being precise or anything. All you have to do is to follow the crease. I have a tutorial on how to insert an invisible zipper, so I'm going to put the link down in the description box below. And don't worry about connecting the back seam together. We'll do that after the zip is inserted. So now we're going to connect the back seam, and on your zipper there you'll see there is a little tail. You're going to put it out of the way, and then you're going to pin your back seams together, right sides together. Make sure the tail is out of the way, and you're going to pin as close as possible to the end of the zipper. Next you're going to sew your back seam together with a centimeter seam allowance, starting from the bottom. It's easier, and you're going to sew as close as possible to your stitching line on your zipper, and that should close up all gaps. So that's how it should look like. I don't have an invisible zipper foot, so my zipper will show a bit, but that doesn't bother me at all. As for the little tail for the zipper, don't cut it away, just leave it there so that way your zipper won't go on the outside of your skirt. So next to the waistband, and I'm just going to open it up a bit, and I'm going to find on which side I have my notch, which is going to tell me where my button stand is. Now I have to decide on which side of my skirt I want to put it, so that's up to you. I'm going to put it on the right side. So now I'm going to start connecting my waistband. I'm going to connect everything right sides together, and the waistband I'm going to connect the side that has no stitching, so the long side with no overlocking or no zigzagging, and I'm going to find where is my notch, and I'm going to match it up with the side of my skirt, and I'm going to pin it in place. Then you can pin the rest of the waistband to the skirt. On the other hand, you will have a centimeter of waistband sticking out. That is the side, that's the side seam allowance, and that's normal that it's sticking out because you have the zipper already in place and everything is folded, and on the other side is the same. It's normal. So then you can sew everything with a centimeter seam allowance, and that's how it looks like. Next you're going to take your iron and iron the seam allowance towards the waistband. That's going to ensure that once our waistband is folded on itself, the raw edges of your skirt will be sewn into the waistband. That way you won't have any raw edges sticking out. That's why we have the other side of the waistband with a zigzag stitch or is an overlocking. It's just to make it a lot easier. Now we are going to start finishing up the waistband, and what you're going to do is opening up your waistband like so, and you're going to fold it in half, but right sides together like so, and pin it in place. Then you're going to sew the side of the waistband just like so. Before we turn it around, you're going to cut the corner away, so we are going to relieve bulk, and then you're going to be able to turn it, and that's going to have one side of your waistband finished. Like so, and make sure that your corner, you're poking them out properly. Then you can do the same thing on the other side of the waistband. If you have a little tab sticking out on your zipper, don't cut it, just put it on the side. Connect your waistband in half, right sides together, then connect the end of the long end plus the short end of your waistband, just like so. And then what you're going to do is clip your corners to relieve bulk, and then you can turn your waistband around. So that's a very nice and simple way to have a crisp finish on your waistband without having it to be fiddly. So next you're going to fold your waistband back in place, wrong sides together this time. You're going to tuck the end of your zipper inside, like so. And I would advise you to pin your waistband in place so it won't twist on you later on. You need to make sure as well that all the raw edges from the skirt are going upward so they can go inside the waistband. And make sure you pin everything all around. Then you're going to have to do a top stitch all around your waistband, starting on the seam connecting the skirt to the waistband and going all around the waistband towards the top, going on the top of the waistband and all around again. Then what I did is overlock my edges on the bottom of my skirt, and I'm going to fold everything 1/4 inch and then sew everything in place. You can do a double turn hem if you want to. That's up to you really. To help me out with hemming, I like to use a sewing gauge. It's very handy because you have different measurements on it, and it's easier I find than using a measuring tape. So if you can find that in one of your sewing stores, it's just brilliant. So now you need to hem your skirt. I'm just doing a single turn hem, 1/4 inch. We are doing a small hem because there's no point when it's there's no point to do a big one on the circle skirt because it's rounded and you're going to have a bit of puckering. You can't help any puckering from happening. So the smaller the hem, the better it is, because you won't have big ripple into your fabric. All I can say is do little section at a time and go slowly, and you should minimize this. And that's your hem done, and as you can see there's a bit of ripple there, but can't help that. Next we are going to finish the waistband, and on the short side of the waistband I put a buttonhole. I have a tutorial on how to make one on my channel, so I'm going to put a link down below. Your buttonhole should be running alongside your waistband, along the long side, not the other way around. And I'm going to put the two pieces of waistband on top of each other. The long edge, the one sticking out, should be underneath. And I'm going to put my chalk through the buttonhole to mark down where my button should go. And then all I need to do is sew on my button. And that's what it looks like once the button is sewn on. If you ever have any doubt on where the button should go, on which side, it's always on the button stand, the little bit that is sticking out from the waistband, not the other way around. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this tutorial, why not giving it a thumbs up? And if you are not already, you can subscribe to this channel to know whenever I make a new video. I'm going to leave all the links to my social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram and Twitter on the description box below, and feel free to leave me a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!